we are here to answer your questions on anything around step one. So feel free. Now, of course, there may be a bit of a lag. So we will just wait. You can answer, or Praneeth, you can start if you want, if you have any tips.
Right. Thank you, Pawan. So yes, guys. So that was one of the video in the series of videos that we're going to do for USMLE exams. So those are the top mistakes that you have to avoid in your step one preparation. So let's see. I think we have a question there.
Yes. I'm doing UWorld and stuck at 60 to 65%. Can you please tell me how to increase that?
Okay. All right, Arpita. So 60 to 65%, I would say, is definitely not bad. UWorld, you should realize that UWorld is one of the tough question banks that you have. So 60 to 65 is definitely not bad for the first pass. And I would say you focus on, that's what I said, like UWorld is a very good learning tool. So for the first pass, focus on the learning part of it. Try to improve the test taking skills. Try to learn the concepts during your first pass. And definitely, I'm sure when you shift on next to the assessments or a second pass, you will see the difference and your scores will go high. But if you want to improve your scores in the first pass, then maybe watching boards and beyond videos and solidifying your concepts would definitely help. So watch the video of boards and beyond for that particular topic, and then jump onto UWorld to test your concepts. And I think you should see an increase.
Okay, next question. I have done FA long ago. I want to dedicate January to FA. How should I proceed? And then, should I do FA with BNB in January? So Ramineni is asking. So
Yes, yeah. So yes, Ramineni, I think you shouldn't waste time just doing FA and then again do it with FA and boards and beyond. So I suggest you start doing first aid with boards and beyond itself. And I think you asked the question in the previous video. That is, you asked how can I do it with the first pass of UWorld. So select a particular topic. For example, choose cardiovascular, and then read first aid along with boards and beyond of that particular topic, and then solve questions of the same topic in UWorld. That will help you, solidify your concepts much better. So you integrate things into your brain, and that will make your annotation much easier. So I would suggest you do it that way.
okay. So Ramineni, we just answered. Taz Nen, should I follow step one first aid for other steps? Is it worth doing to increase the score? Should
Okay.
I follow
So
step one first aid for other steps? So I assume she means either CK or. Uh,
right, right. I think so. So Tazdin, so CK is another exam that you have. So step two CK, and I don't think step two CK doing first aid would help much for step two CK. What there are other important resources for that. So I think you focus on that, and that should be good. If you have given only if you've done step one very remotely, like maybe 3 years ago or so, then I would suggest a quick read of first aid, but not to get into the details of it. And about step three, yes, I think microbiology and pharmacology section of first aid will help for step three.
okay. Can you tell me roughly how to allot days for systems?
Okay. Yes, so this pretty much depends. So how to, how many days to assign to each particular system depends on how fast, and it depends on each person. But then I would say you roughly calculate how many pages of first aid you can read, maybe in an hour or so. So then based on that, depending on how many hours you can allot on that particular day. So that's how you calculate the number of pages you can do in that particular day. And so if cardiovascular has 50 pages and if you're able to do 10 pages a day, then you can cover it in 5 days. So because you have to do with boats and it along with boats and beyond, it would take usually 3 or 4 more days extra.
Okay. Next question. If I take step one around March and take CK around September, can I catch the 2022 match application?
Yes, sponsor. Do you want to take it or?
Yeah, let me take it. So, ideally, what we would want is assuming the next cycle starts September 15th. So, this year it started October 21st, but assuming next cycle goes back to the normal, which is September 15th, we would want you to apply on time with complete documentation and hopefully certification. We still don't know what the CS will do. We don't know whether there is a substitute for OET, but whatever it is, if you are able to get the results of step 1 and CK before September 15, as well as whatever that substitute exam is or CS, if all that can be done before September 15, that is the ideal situation. But if you cannot do that, then at least CK and step 1 need to be done with the scores. Then you apply, and you should be good to go if you are a recent graduate. Next question. If a person is free whole day, so this is basically full day or full time planning, what should my goal be to do minimum number of pages per day? If let's say they can allocate 10 hours a day or something.
Okay. So I would say it definitely varies, but the one best way to do it is plan backwards. So always start planning from the back end. So if you have to take your exam in end of March, so you plan it that way. So if you're in January and you have to take it in the end of March, so you have 3 months. And for example, you will have to do basically 100 pages of FA. Then your target is to do 30 pages every month, and that means you need to do one page every day. So that's what I suggest, to start planning backwards. Then you will get to know how much minimum and how much maximum, how much minimum pages you will have to do per day. So it depends on your exam target and how much you have done and how much you are left to do. So but one tip I can give you is plan backwards. That will help you to know the minimum pages you will have to do.
Okay. When should one start U World, from the beginning itself or during the revision phase? When should you start U World?
Okay, yeah. So just like we spoke in the video, delaying UL too much is going to harm you. It's going to, your exam date will get pushed because it's essential. Or for most of them, what work is doing UL twice. So start it early. But how early is? I would suggest you do a quick read of first aid so that you have an overview of what is given in first aid and what topics are covered and how much detail are they covered. So don't memorize. Just give a very quick read of first aid. So that shouldn't take very long, and soon after that, I would say jump into UWorld along with first aid. And this is when you're trying to memorize, understand the concepts, and apply the concepts. So as soon as you're done with a quick read of first aid is when you should start your UWorld.
Okay. If I take step 1 by April, is CK possible by August? So I think they're asking in 4 months if CK is possible.
Okay. So the same thing. So CK basically people take anywhere between 4 to 6 months. So this is on the lower end. So yes, it is possible. People have done it, but the best way to answer this question is I would say for CK it's essential. Like you don't have much resources for CK. All that is essential is you do 2 times of UWorld. And the problem with UWorld for CK is it has a lot of questions. I think now it has around 3,400 or 3,700 questions. So you will have to do more questions per day. Basically, if you are able to do that many questions per day, then yes, you can take it in 4 months.
Okay. Step 1 in 2 days. Just gave NBME and you world self assessment too and got a 220. And I feel like I have reached a plateau. Should I just give it or wait and study more?
Okay. So it depends on what resources you've covered up till now. If you've essentially, if you think you've mastered or you've done enough of first aid, you world, Pathoma, and Boch and beyond, then I would say you go to the exam. So exam day also like matters a lot. So staying anxiety free, staying confident, taking good right amount of breaks at the right time, and good amount of caffeine, and all those things will keep you at your target score. So if your target score is 220 or it is around 230s, then I would suggest low 230s. Then I would suggest you go to the exam. But if you're aiming anything higher 230s or something, then you may have to, it's better you stay back, maybe take some tutoring or do some other resources and go for the exam. So without knowing complete detail of what you've done, this is a suggestion I can give.
Okay, should I do telerotations while preparing for CK and planning for exam by 4 months? So I'll take it. So Tasnin, if you are applying for the match in 2022, the 2021 September, and assuming you won't be able to do much in terms of USCE, otherwise on-site USCE between now and September, telerotation can be a good idea. There are several types of telerotation. So one is where you actually, uh, interact with the patients, do history, do their management plan, those kind of things. The other is didactic based. Uh, they generally run about 4 to 5 hours a day maximum. So I think telerotation would be a good idea. It'll just help you get new, strong LORs. And who knows when the on-site rotations are going to start. So it may be a good idea if you are applying in September this year. Okay, next question. If I do step one and CK before September 15 with good score around 250s and apply for the match without having LORs, what is my chance to get into internal medicine? Yeah, it'll be very low. US LORs, even if they are from telerotations, will make a difference. Now, if you are a recent graduate, let's say you're just graduating in 2021, possibly you could get some interviews with your home country LORs with such high scores. But I think it'll be a good idea to do telerotations at least and get US LORs. That'll really help you if you have not done any electives. So next question, should I start Pathoma first and then FA along with BNB from all these, or just all these resources? So Arjun is asking this question.
Okay, Arjun. So you can do it even before first aid or after first aid, but doing it after first aid will have some advantage. So I wouldn't suggest doing all the systems from these three resources. That is cumbersome. That is not the ideal way of doing it. Either do first aid with boards and beyond, do first aid with boards and beyond, and then do Pathoma, or do Pathoma and then do first aid with boards and beyond. So I would suggest first complete a reading of first aid and then get on to Pathoma, so that you will have a more in-depth understanding of those pathology, because it's covered more detail in Pathoma than first aid. So finish first aid and then start Pathoma.
Okay. Uh, how can I master UWorld Step 1 in 2 months precisely?
Okay. So yeah, so basically it is about like, will you be able to do it in 2 months also? So it's around usually it has around 50, 3,000 questions. I'm not very sure about the exact number of questions now in step one, but if it is around 3,000, to be doing it precisely and to master the concepts, I think you can do only 40 to 50 questions a day. So taking that as account, if you take 50, I think you will need at least 2 months to do the first pass of UWorld. So yes, I think you can do it in 2 months, and then doing your mistakes and your marked questions again is very important. So it might take you slightly over 2 months if you can do 40 to 50 questions a day.
Okay. Gauri is asking, is it possible to match with a step one score of 236, or is it not competitive at all? So, Gauri, there are various factors that go into the match. One, of course, is the year of graduation. The other is whether you need visa or not. The third is which specialty you are trying for. We do have a calculator on our website that I'm going to type here, and you can, look into that calculator. That will give you some uh, directionally correct thing for various specialties. So I'm going to put the calculator out right here. But even for IM, assuming you are a recent graduate, 236 is an okay score. You will get interviews if you have good LORs. Nowadays 240 plus is a very good score. 236 is also doable in step one for a recent graduate. 2009 graduate CS done step one in April, one LOR from US. My chances of matching next year. It will depend on the score. We cannot say anything without the score. 2009 is older year of graduation, so that has to be taken into consideration. So scores and more US LORs will definitely help. Next question, Praneeth, for you. I did my UWorld first pass, finishing 27%. Took notes, every detail on my first aid right now. I'm on my second pass with 70%. How should my strategy be for reviewing UWorld?
All right. So I think if you've gone from a 27% to 70%, then I think that's a very good improvement. And I'm sure like you are focusing on your notes and they are very good. So I would suggest that if you haven't started your NBMEs yet, then it's a very good time. You're on second pass, so start your NBMEs. And the best strategy to review your world is, I think, you just have to focus on the mistakes that you're doing. So if you are doing, this is second pass, so these mistakes are really count. First time you might be doing it just because you might not have learned it or known the concept. But now if you're doing the mistake again, then it's very important to take a deeper look into it on why you're doing it. Is it because you didn't read the question properly or didn't eliminate the answers, other options well, or is it because you didn't have a knowledge of that particular concept? And try to rectify each of those. And I think that would be the best way to do the second pass or review you well now.
Uh, okay, let me see other questions. Well, again, Ramineni is asking, matching possible with a grad date if I score 250 plus? Yes, it is possible with a 250 plus. Okay, are there other questions? Well, we'll wait a minute. If there are no other questions, then it'll be. Uh, thank you all. Let me see. There are questions. Do medical school grades matter for an IMG? How many years old is a recent graduate? So medical scores don't really matter too much unless you have a lot of failures. Uh, your MSP is your scores, your step scores really matter a lot. So focus on those step scores. How many year old is a recent graduate? I think up to, so for if you're applying in 2021 September, then 2019, 2020, those are all recent graduates. So you should be fine. Is there any possible chance of in-person electives or observerships opening in 2020? We don't know yet. Obviously, it will depend on COVID situation and all other things. I think you've got to get started. Don't wait till the last minute. It may or may not happen. Some hospitals may open up. They may shut down again. Who knows? So unfortunately, we don't know. Um, Tasnin is asking, finished step one with 230, year of graduation is 2014, no USC, had volunteer experience. I'm a US permanent resident, how to proceed to match in 2021 residency match? I think you mean applying in 2021. So get some US clinical experience, get a strong or good CK. You don't need visa, so you should be able to match in internal medicine if you do a good USCE. Dhaval is asking, third year non-US IMG, want to know that I should take step one before pass fail or after pass fail. I'm willing to match in good branch like cardiology or neurology. So cardiology is a subspecialty. You cannot match directly into cardiology. But if you're waiting for step one pass fail, they say it will be implemented in 2022 January. Now, if you are able or if you are on track to get a good score, you should take it now. If you take a three-digit score before January 2022, that score will still show up, right? So our suggestion will be, it depends on your preparation. If you are on track to get 240, 250, it may just be a good idea to take the scores now. Will that be a hurdle with my old year of graduation 2009? Yes, 2009 is a old year of graduation. You really will have to score very high in CK. Get strong USC, possibly do research in US. My previous attempt of 2011 will count or can be forgotten. I think the transcripts will still show it, but you can check with ECFMG. So Sarah Ali says failed in med school twice. Step one is 254, preparing for step one score 254, preparing for, I guess, CK, year of graduation 2018. So you have good chances. Like I said, the med school performance will count, but not that great. Look at our calculator here, and you can assess your chances. So Praneeth, next one is for you. Thoughts on sketchy micro? Is it essential for step one prep?
Okay, so sketching micro basically, I think people think it is basically it has a sketch of that particular organism for you to remember better. So if it helps you remember things better, then that's good. But even if it doesn't, I think the content that it has is definitely helpful. So yes, I would suggest you do sketching micro for the content itself. If even if you don't like to do, remember it that way.
Okay. Do you help during application process? Yes, that is exactly what we do. IRAS application, personal statement, interview prep. So you can look up our website. Uh, Sanjal is asking, I'm planning to take step one in November 2021. When should I probably start my application process? So, if you are planning to take step one in November 2021, you will need to do some electives if you're still a student, or some USC externship. November 2021 would mean you would apply in September 2022. After your step one, prepare for CK. Probably April of 2022 is when you can, start your application.
Okay, I also think like Sanjay is asking when to start application process for step one.
Oh, okay.
So if that's your question, then if you're taking it in November, if you haven't done even the basic ECFMG registration, then I would suggest you start the ECFMG registration process 6 months before, at least 6 months before your exam. And the actual step one application process, that is the form 183, that I suggest you start 3 months before your exam date. So form 186, get it done 6 months before. Form 183, get it done 3 months before your target exam date.
Okay. Uh, when are electives open for IMGs? Amir, we just answered. This is COVID situation. You will have to check with each university. If you need our help, we do with some affiliated clinics. You can look them up. It's on our website. Sarah is asking, are there any residency programs which just need to fill their seats so that they just take everybody? Unfortunately, not. It is very competitive. I don't think there are programs that you can just walk into. Uh, Maham is asking 5-year YOG with an attempt in step one and taking CK now. What are my chances? So Maham, again, go to the probability calculator. It is about your USCE. It is about your CK scores. A lot of things, right? So very difficult to say uh, without knowing details. If I could not take CSOET before September 15th, when can I give these exams in order to apply for match? What should be the deadline? So definitely step one and CK need to be completed before September 15th. And let's wait for ECFMG to come out with CS and OET deadline. I mean, this year also, a lot of people could not take uh, this CS because of suspension and OET before October 21st. So they were all okay. Vicky is asking score 212 in step 1, 2016 graduate. Can I continue with step 2 CK and not? How can I get matched What should I do? So, Vicky, obviously, CK score has to improve a lot. CK score, then USCE. If you can get some good, strong hands on, maybe some research as well. And then also look at the choice of specialty. Depending on your CK score, it'll determine whether IM or any other specialty, neurology, would be a good option. So it depends on the CK score. Santos is asking what is the chance for matching for surgery being an IMG, and what are the things that can strengthen my CV. So obviously, general surgery needs a prelim year. You should be aware of that. Uh, High scores will always help. Surgery is very competitive, but prelim is typically easier. If you can get electives or hands-on along with high scores, research is always helpful in surgery. Is the assistant physician program still open for us? If you are not needing a visa, there are 3 states that can allow you the assistant physician program: Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Missouri. So you should check for that. If you need visa, then it's a problem. So, Praneeth, next one is for you: 2 rounds of UWorld or 1 round of UWorld and solving another question bank. Which is better?
All right, Sanjay. So UWorld questions are pretty important for the exam. They are the concepts are close to the exam. And doing it for the second time will help them solidify better. So I would suggest that you do it for 2 times or at least one time, and then do your mistakes and marked questions. And only then, if you need any new questions, you feel like you need new questions, or if you feel that you are able to see the question and immediately catch the answer. So if that's the situation, only then I would suggest you move on to a new question bank, and my suggestion would be you can do Amboss.
Okay. What can we do after step one in CK if we wanted to go to US and start our life there till we get into residency? Very good question. There are options you can do. If the universities open up, you can get a research associate position. So that's typically on visa J1. That would be one option. You could do an MPH, which is a master's. So there are options. Many of our students do it either MPH or joining these research at big universities for a couple of years before they get into match. Taz Nin is asking for IM match, what will be the secured CK score to get match? I don't think there is anything like a guaranteed match, but a 240 plus is a good CK score. Obviously, your letters of recommendations, your interview performance, all that will matter also. Okay, are there any other questions? In my last year right now, I'm in my last year. Should I extend my school in order to have an elective if COVID ends, or should I complete my school and do externship? So you could actually do both. If you get an option of doing an elective at a university program or Mayo or Harvard or something, I think that's a very good option. A lot of students do extend it. However, with this COVID thing coming along, if these colleges don't open up the electives, you could do tele rotations sitting in your home country. So maybe that'll not need an extension. I don't know. Uh, COVID is just very uncertain. But definitely, electives have much more use than externship. So keep that in mind. Santos is asking what is the best resource to use for step 2 CK?
Okay, Santa. So for step to CK, the gold standard or the most important resource would be UWorld. And unfortunately, there is no concise or review book that is available for step to CK. So UWorld would basically be it. And if you have to do if anything else, then that should be to only supplement your weak areas. And after UWorld, I would suggest biostatistics is a huge part of CK. So I would suggest you do UWorld biostatistics as well as biostatistics from step 3. And I think divine podcasts are coming up now, and they are proving to be helpful. So these would be a divine podcast. You will buy some resources for biostats, that is UWorld biostats and step 3 biostats, and step 2 CK UWorld.
Okay. Alhan is asking a question which is a good one, and I think we will do our next video on that. I have my second prof exams in April, planning to take step one by the end of 2021. Can you please tell the application procedure for step one, step by step? So I think we do plan a video on that because that'll take time, step by step. So if you can wait a week or two, we will get it to you. Sarah is asking, did IMGs get less interviews so far? At least our students, we don't have that feeling. We think they are getting interviews, but of course, NRMP data, we have to wait. Yes, there are always profiles who get less interviews, maybe something going on with the application that we don't know. Dhaval is asking, is UFAPB or your strategy of UWorld, FA, Pathoma, BNB enough to get 250 plus in step one?
Okay, Dhaval. So yes, that's what has helped most of them, and I think if you master them, that should be definitely enough to get you above the 250.
Okay. Electives from Sarthi Group, how are they different from electives from other companies? So, yes, good question. Let me tell you, all the companies will send you typically to the same set of physicians. I don't think there is anything different with this set of physicians. I think what differs is how we work. So, you don't pay us directly, you pay the physicians directly. So, we don't charge you 3,000 for a rotation or things like that. We charge a registration fee. We have negotiated prices with the same physicians, and if you go to other companies, just check the pricing, and we give you a lot of other classes as part of those rotations. So I think the best would be to look up the pricing structure for other companies, and then you can see the difference. Suma is asking, I'm a second year student. Can you suggest some research projects which can build up my CV? So Suma, you can do home country research projects also. We run some research projects. Our next batch will start in January. So keep an eye out. But if you're a second year student, home country research is a good start. If you want US based research, we will start in a month and we will post on our website. Uh, do you provide electives for people who graduated long back? So if you already graduated, that you're not eligible for electives, but yes, you are eligible for hands-on experiences, externships, and we do help you with that. Yes, absolutely. All right, everyone. I think that brings us to the end of all the questions. Maybe we'll take one last question. Uh, After pass fail, would directors forego seeing step one scores who have actually previously taken step one? Uh, no. From all we understand, if you have taken step one as a 3-digit score, that will be reported, but it could undergo a change. We're still waiting more clarification on how this will work out. Are externship not as beneficial as electives? You are right. Electives tend to be very, very strong US clinical experience, but if you haven't had a chance to do them, go for hands-on. Does USMLE Sarthi provide tele-rotations and LOR? And the answer is yes. Look up our website, our Chicago rotations, Detroit rotations, all are tele-rotations with strong LORs, yes. Are electives possible in 2021 April? On-site electives in hospitals may or may not be possible. We will know with the COVID situation. Uh, Hard to say. Are there any free USCE opportunities? I think there could be. Will have to just try out emailing the physicians and see what is available. If I need hands-on in California, can I get that? Unfortunately, California does not allow hands-on. They only allow observerships. So you can get observerships, but not hands-on. Okay, guys, we will do it hopefully weekly every 10 days. Thank you very much for joining. Appreciate your time. Good luck with to all of you. And